So they wanted to apply for HEARTWERKS, and I'm denying them left and right. I was just a quiet soul caught in a loud war, which was why I loved playing the drums, because it released all of that tension. But I never wanted to be in front of any of this and be the front man to any of this, if that makes sense to you. I just put it into perspective as a dream of mine to be, again, like kind of in the backgrounds of something that was amazing to be able to bring out here. But ultimate goal was just to be able to be vibing on my drums, you know, feeling in the groove and putting them beats in the pocket and getting things tighter and tighter until, you know, I could really take it and make it. But feeling that rhythm, I was not feeling the rhythm in life. And in order to feel your loves in life, you need to be feeling that rhythm within the circumference of the room, basically. In love and real, building with someone that sees me for me and for what I'm capable of doing, not for what has been deeply uprooted from me, built on these framers, if you were. But I'm looking for equitable relationships and deep and meaningful true relationships, people that would like to write about really hardcore topics and dive in deep into discussion in a fashion that keeps things even keel about real issues at hand. And it's true that the world that we're living in before is not the world that we're living in anymore. Not when everything real out here is being targeted and everything faked is being gimmickly funded and created, pumped up by nature in the loudest tones. But I'm not loud in nature in that fashion. I'm actually pretty calm. My drumming I would like to take to be very loud and obnoxious at times, obviously, but what drummer isn't? Either way, in the silences of being neither feeling safe or neither feeling like I had the ability to become who I wanted to be, no, and it was being finalized in my life that, or in my mind, that these people were trying to finalize my life. And when my spirit started seeing behind the veil, all this makes fake smiles, all of these ideas of contracts being calculated in their gestures behind the fake love that was instilled inside of this poison that was moved in slow motion in my life, time after time after time after time again. And I'm tired of it. I want people to see the truth, and I know that by me taking anything out to anywhere, they were doing things to shut me up, to get me to play nice, to get me in their lines or knocked out of the line that I wanted to be in, whichever way it needed to go. And they got us to believe that they too wanted us to win, while they were selling you out and selling themselves to the dirt and the grime that they could throw upon others to try and remain invincible in their own insidious attacks. But I've seen what they do, and I see what they do to people out here. I know how they target people. I know how they target people out of their very foundation. They're just completely out of campus. I'm tired of the hearts out here that are breaking. I'm tired of trying to rewrite my own entire identity from it being stripped in ways that I never could have thought to foresee coming. They studied me like a science experiment, extracted the pieces that they knew would matter most to me or thought would matter most to me, to then repackage the vibe in a way of all smiles and shiny, abilities to get a nice car finally, or to, however it would be playing about my emotions, but strictly tied to create the inability for me to really exist at all in my organic self, and then try to market it as if it's just all me and there's no conspiracy here or crime of conspiracy to be discovered here, when it's obviously turned from what I feel it is, just a spiritual warfare, into a very corporatized warfare that's gone beyond these generational curses of betrayal. And these people are just able to get things and actually have things in their life, and it's blood money. That's what they are able to do, and they do it with smiles. Like, it's a sport. And so it's the worst part when you realize that these people gain, they're happy when they can gain more suffering out of you. It's completely narcissistic, if you ask me. It's just, I haven't even been through half of what some of you have, and out here as targets in other ways, but I know that other people haven't been through half of what I've been through, just as adjacent to what they have been through as targets. Seeing it, feeling it in my own way, and how things were as a child growing up, it shook me to the core, and it made me realize that this war just isn't up against people. This war I'm facing isn't just against people. This one specifically was tailor-made to me, and I'm up against a systemic crime of lies, then, where these legacies of lies have been able to push me off into complete terrorizing positions in my life. And the world doesn't leave room for the good hearts and minds of men out here that want to create and want to build and want to grow. They just want, these people will want to snake you and fake you and get you to do things that you wouldn't otherwise do even. And then they just work to erase you, to sabotage you to no end. And then they still have the nerve to tell the world that you're the problem and that you were just supposed to remain quiet and act like you don't see their private armies that are being placed up all around you to increase in surveillance, increase in the silent techniques that are just whatever, man. I'm good. So no, you're not crazy. You're courageous, and they're scared because your truth that you're facing in your reality now is a voice, and it's the integer of 1, as we talked about before. But it's not playing their games anymore, and I'm not gonna try and get loud if I don't have to, but I'm here to speak my truth, and I've gotten loud about things in ways because even if I sing a song or put together a lyric, write something online, or put it out there, write journalists, write news, art, no matter where I speak out to, the rest of this fake ass empire and the wolves of the Wi-Fi game and everything else that they play, they're just straight up devils, hijackers, hacking you and misaligning you. And then they get to clothe themselves and dress themselves in the martyrdom's blood, basically, a prophet that they call it, of progress and advancement in this world, but it's not advancement, and it's not advancing. So yeah, I speak on behalf of those that believe that there is something bigger, a higher calling here, and even something holy going on. You can speak it in the name of Jesus Christ if you wish. I personally choose to. I speak it because people like me and you should never have to be the ones to have to carry these mountains, and especially the covert type of spiritual warfare campaigns meant to place us into an early grave to strip of us ourselves, our identity, and our lives. And so I speak because I know one day I won't be able to speak. I speak because I want to speak to people that otherwise I have not been able to speak to. I speak because I'm not going to be silenced out here while these people stand up in the backdrops of my life, keeping me from my own name, keeping me from my own rights, and sincerely keeping me from that inalienable right to my undeniable credit that is unlimited credit that was given over to us by our forefathers who created the origination of the Constitution and all of that. And we have trusts. And so these trusts have been scrubbed by these men of occultist types. And I personally think that people should take out their, attitude with that seismic dildo, if you were, in a spiritual way, and shove it back in the asses of all of these motherfuckers that try to get away with this in their lives. And you stick it to the man in any way that you can here, because this has been a flat-out war against humanity. And if you're not able to see it and you want to stand up for these NGOs and these officers and these officials of evil, insipidous minds of men that think that instrument to paper means more than the values and the dreams and the lives of the many men, women, and children who have already died, then I have a voice to record over your own to tell you to shut the fuck up and that you do not deserve the floor any longer. We the people do, and the people with voices and reason to come out here and have things to say about the things that have been happened to us. And we're not going to go quietly into the night, silently on this one, and I'm asking other people to stand with me, create with me, build with me, and in the collective, I believe that truly we can take things to the next level, because all of these charities have been gamed up, and all of everything that you know has been being monopolized in a real powerful way for their own gains, in ways that you wouldn't actually agree to if you were to know the depths and sinister ways that they take out here to cover up their tracks and make sure people like me never get a chance to speak at all. Period.